The preseason Kings do it again. The Bears erase a 17-point deficit twice to beat the Chiefs 29-27. We break it all down. We put a bow on the preseason here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Now the real deal begins. We are 17 days away from week one. Sub for Bears dubs. If you want free and daily Bears content, the next few days are going to be big. Roster cuts are coming in. I'll have my final roster projection, some cut candidates, bubble talk. We'll talk a little roster bubble here on this post-game show as well. But this is the time to support the channel and subscribe. It's 100% free. All right, let's talk about the quarterback first. Caleb Williams started slow, finished good. First two drives were a 3-and-out. I mean, the first play of the game, they brought Zaccheaus in motion for a jet sweep, and some kind of ball handling issue. I didn't think Caleb got the snap cleanly. Then the handoff wasn't clean, had to jump on it, so that was a loss of 5. Then Colston Loveland had a false start, and on 3rd and 19, Caleb hit DJ for about 15, but too big of a hole. Second drive, got a first down, then stalled out again. I thought his worst play of the night, other than the ball handling situation, obviously that's got to get cleaned up, was he took a sack on 2nd and 3 where he just held the ball too long. Seemed like the coverage was pretty good. I thought Cole Kmet broke open late, but he had already tried to get out of there. That's just a play. Even if it's not there, you got to dirt it at someone's feet and live for 3rd and 3. Ended up being 3rd and 9 through a crosser to Colston Loveland for 5, but they had to punt. So first two drives were not great. The operation wasn't great. A couple penalties, ball handling, and then Caleb took a bad sack. But then he bounced back. Third drive, still against the ones from the Chiefs. They drove down, settled for a field goal. He had a nice scramble on a bootleg for 18 yards, a couple of nice completions on that drive. Then they brought him out surprisingly for a 4th drive, mostly against the Chiefs but what do you want to see against the twos? Kind of like against Buffalo, just straight down the field, and that's what they did. Zaccheaus for a couple of catches. Rome had a big catch. Rome also, you wouldn't call it a drop, but in a one-on-one vertical ball situation, what was a big issue for Caleb last year, the deep ball accuracy, he got blitzed by a safety, hung in there, and got cracked as he threw about a 45-yard ball downfield, and Rome had the ball initially and couldn't squeeze it. Like, that's a play you expect Rome Odunze to make, but next play, Caleb hits Rome on a deep crosser. He makes a man miss, gets about 30-something yards, and then on a quick hitter, hits Rome Odunze for a 3-yard touchdown. So good bounce back from Rome, good bounce back from Caleb. I like that Ben put them back out there. It was a 2-minute situation at the end of the first half. So certainly not great, a lot to clean up, a lot to learn, but when you add up Caleb's preseason as a whole, 17-25, 220, a couple of touchdowns, most of the damage done against two, so take it with a grain of salt, but I think there are certainly some building blocks here. I think some good signs overall and some things that still need to be worked on. Brian Flores week 1, going to be a big test. We saw DeAndre Swift tonight for the first time, had a couple nice runs, had about a 12-yarder on the left side at one point. I thought he was disciplined with his running lanes. There was one play to the right where I thought he was going to try to bounce it, and instead he just cut it up and took 2 or 3 yards. There wasn't a ton there, but how many times last year did he try to turn a small gain into a big gain, and instead he would lose a couple of yards? Like, sometimes just take the 2 or 3 yards, and he did that a couple of times tonight, so good to see him get some work in for the first time this preseason. The Caleb to Zaccheaus connection continues to be a thing in the quick game, the intermediate game, couple of catches, completions to OZ in this one, so that was very nice to see. Didn't see much from the tight ends tonight. The only time I said any of the tight ends, or I said Colston's name twice, false start, and then he had about a 5-yard catch on 3rd and 9. Not much doing for Cole Kmet. So that's kind of the breakdown of the starting offense, but Tyson Bagent stole the show late. We got to show Tyson some love here. 20 of 28, 212 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, before we break down Bagent's performance and kind of walk off win, I do want to ask you guys, what is your biggest concern for the Bears heading into week 1? We'll get into the defense. I do have one notable concern on that side, but I want to know from you guys, biggest concern, is it Caleb? Is it the pass rush? That's something that stands out to me. Is it the cornerback play? Not a good showing from Nahshon Wright tonight. Let us know, biggest concern heading into week 1. You know what's not a concern? Your backup quarterback. Tyson Bagent is just a gamer. I think that's the best way to describe him. He's got great pocket awareness, can operate the offense, good decision maker, accurate. I think he's got starting upside. I'm not going to start a QB controversy here on a post-game show where he played in the entire second half, mostly against 3s and 4s, but he's just a good player. He's just good. Like, he's not amazing. He's not bad. He's just really, really good. And what a story this week. He gets his 2-year, $10 million extension, and he just goes off in the second half. 20 of 28, 212, 3 touchdowns. He takes them 87 yards in less than a minute 40 to go win this game and throws the touchdown pass to Jahdae Walker with 2 seconds left. Jahdae Walker, big game, big fourth quarter, I should say. I think all 3 of his catches were on that final drive. Not only the touchdown, but an unreal toe tapper to start that drive. And without that catch, it was initially called incomplete. They overturned it. Maybe the drive doesn't happen. I think he's made an interesting case. We'll talk a little roster bubble toward the end of the video. But I said it earlier this week. I'll say it again. The Bears are lucky to have Tyson Bagent. I think Caleb's the guy. I think he's going to be the guy. But what if he isn't? Right? Tyson Bagent, maybe he is an option down the road. Now, I'm not saying that just because of this game, but like just every time he plays, you feel comfortable. You're like, yeah, I think he can do this. Now, he's not going up against the ones on defense. We all understand that. But I just think if you're a Bears fan, you should feel pretty confident in QB2. If Caleb gets hurt or if he really struggles and they have to go the nuclear option and play Bagent, I think he can hold it down. I don't know if he's a guy you could win because of, but I think you could win with him. I think he can manage a game kind of poor man Brock Purdy style and just kind of play point guard and operate the offense. So good for Tyson. Big second half. You hit Walker on that game-winning touchdown. What a week for him. What a week for his family. Awesome to see as the preseason Kings just keep on winning. Haven't lost in the preseason in 2 years. All right, more to discuss. We'll get to the defense and then a little roster bubble talk on the other side. But want to show some love to our sponsor, Prize Picks. Did you guys know that there is important college football being played tomorrow or today if you're watching on Saturday morning? Because that is exactly what is going on this week as Kansas State plays Iowa State in Ireland in a top 25 matchup. Prize Picks is the perfect way to get involved. Daily fantasy made easy. Don't miss out on any of the action. It's very easy to play Prize Picks as you just pick more or less on stat projections of 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. I've got an awesome opportunity for you guys as well. Little freebie out the gate. Avery Johnson, more than half a passing yard. That's obviously going to hit. Rocco Beck, more on his rushing yards. I like that play. 20 to win 60 on this 2-player lineup. If that hits, so take advantage. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Links in the comments and in the description of this video. Okay, let's talk about the defense. And look, again, the offense wasn't perfect. They got to clean some stuff up. No question about it. I don't want to overreact, and I'm not going to, but I also think this is a concern I've had really all offseason, and it said tonight. It didn't matter if it was the ones against the ones, the twos against the twos, the threes against the threes. When Dennis Allen wasn't bringing pressure, they weren't getting any pressure. I have not said Dayo Odengbo's name more than a couple times throughout all of training camp. I guess he was credited with a QB hit tonight, so good for him on that, but it's a big-ticket free agent. 3 years, $48 million. You're paying him to be productive. Nothing has stood out to me. I hope once the real games get here, he's a guy that pops, but haven't seen number 55 flash much. Montez Sweat on 3 drives tonight. Don't think I said his name once. He's going up against Jawan Taylor, who's not that good of a right tackle. He's an average right tackle. Montez Sweat should win some of those reps. Didn't see much from the D-tacs tonight. What I'm getting at is what have I said for months? I think you need another edge rusher. There's a couple of guys just sitting out there. Zadarius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney. You want to get involved in Trey Hendrickson? I'm not saying make a panic move, but maybe see what that trade looks like. I'm not giving up a 1 to do it, and it sounds like that's what Cincy wants, but are you going to be able to get pressure? And obviously Dennis Allen, I thought he kept it pretty vanilla tonight, even compared to the first 2 games, so fair enough, but this could force him to blitz more than he wants to because I just am not confident in most situations that they're going to be able to get pressure with 4. Because the first 3 drives when they're bringing 4 almost every play, Mahomes has all day to throw. And Pat looked great, by the way. But, it's just like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. And the couple times you kind of got pressure, you were never really threatening to take Mahomes down. Like, he kind of flushed out of there pretty easily. So I just need more from this pass rush, and I don't know how much more you're going to get based on the current roster. Now, there wasn't Austin Booker tonight. I get that. He might be able to help, but I just, it's been my biggest concern. Are they going to have a good enough pass rush? And especially when you couple that with, and I understand Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon aren't playing, but like, Nahshon Wright, all I've heard all training camp is how good this guy looks. Reclamation Project, Al Harris guy, press man corner. Well, against the Miami game, he gave up a couple of catches on the drive or 2 he played early on. 1 was a 4th down catch, I believe. And tonight, he gets dusted by Tyquan Thornton, and he has a double dip penalty, like a PI face mask thing. That was kind of weird. I think the officials kind of screwed that up. But regardless, had a penalty there, got dusted by Thornton, who's a burner, but hasn't exactly done much in the NFL. It's like, I think you got to roll with Tyreek Stevenson as your CB2, who did give up a touchdown to Rashee Rice, but back shoulder ball, tough play for the DB. I just haven't seen it in these games from Nahshon Wright. Heard about it in practice. He's made a lot of plays in practice, but can it translate to Sundays? I don't know. I'll say this. You need Jalen Johnson. You need Kyler Gordon back for week 1. If not, I get Jordan Addison is out, but you better be triple teaming Jahdae then, because I don't think you have a corner who can hold up man-to-man against him. And even Jalen, like, he's missed all camp, man. Like, Jahdae's going to get him some. Like, you're probably going to have to sag that way anyway. So I do have concerns about that CB2 spot. I feel okay about Tyreek Stevenson. I think he's in a good spot, but I don't think it can be Nahshon Wright. I think he's earned a roster spot, but if he's starting week 1, that would concern me quite a bit. Who you guys got in that week 1 matchup? The preseason is over. The real shebang is here. Type CHI for the Bears, MIN for the Vikings, and let us know. Okay, some roster bubble talk before we get out of here. Let's first start with the wide receivers. Clearly the top 4 are set with DJ, Rome, Zacchaeus, and Luther. They're on the team. We know that. So 2 questions. 1, do they keep 5 receivers or do they keep 6? If they keep 5, I think it has to be Devin Duvernay or Maurice Alexander, because you need a punt return option to come out of this group. Now, could OZ do the job? Could you use Josh Blackwell? Certainly an option. But I would guess if you keep 5, Duvernay or Alexander's that guy. And by the way, Duvernay's missed the last 2 preseason games, and Maurice Alexander has flashed in all 3 games. So give him credit. If you keep 6, you keep one of those guys, I think, and then it's either Miles Boykin or Jahdae Walker. To me, Miles Boykin has more pedigree. He's played in real games that matter. But I like Jahdae Walker as an upside developmental receiver who's made multiple big-time catches in the preseason, and he could play on special teams. He was very close to blocking a punt, I believe, in that second game against the Bills. So does Jahdae Walker have a shot at the 53? I think if they keep 6, he does. If they keep 5, I don't think he has a chance. But at minimum, this is a guy I would like to keep on the practice squad, so keep an eye on him. A couple other notes. Ryan Poles, during his in-game interview, ESPN 1000, talked about the 4 tackles of Theo Benedict, Ozzie Trapillo, obviously Braxton Jones, and Darnell Wright. He did not mention Karan Amagaji. Is Karan Amagaji, who is playing deep into this game again, in danger of getting cut? Is he a possible late-round pick swap trade candidate to, I don't know, a team like the Falcons, who just lost Caleb McGarry for the first part of the season and their swing tackle for 6 to 8 weeks? Like, I wonder if they just try to cut their losses and get something for Karan Amagaji. So he's a name on the bubble to monitor. Luke Newman's on this team. He started for the 2nd straight week. As far as left tackle goes, in real time, it's hard to evaluate individual plays. I know Braxton got beat bad at least once, so it still continues to be a bit of a struggle over there. The good news is when Joe Tooney's in there, that should help a lot. I expect Braxton to be the starter, but I think you're kind of just hoping for average play from him over there. And then just lastly, just a couple other positions like Edge rusher, does Tano Passanio make the team? Daniel Hardy had a strip sack. That should help his cause. We know he's good on special teams, so he's a name to keep in mind as well. Dominique Robinson played tonight and played quite a bit. I think he's probably on the roster. Booker's on the roster. If you keep a fifth guy, it's down to Passanio or Hardy. And then that fifth defensive tackle. Is it Chris Williams? Is it Zach Pickens? Is it Jonathan Ford? We'll see where that goes. But some quick roster bubble talk as we kind of zero in on week one. Last one I'll mention, Ryan Poles did shout out Britton Brown, and the running back position's kind of in flux. Could he sneak onto the team? It would surprise me, but we don't know Roschon Johnson's status, so never say never. All right, there you go. Preseason is done. The Bears finished 2-0-1. They tied against the Dolphins, beat the Bills, and then had the big comeback tonight against the Kansas City Chiefs. Keep us locked in. Roster cuts will start flying in probably tomorrow. We will cover it all when breaking news drops. So subscribe, and we'll see you soon.